Hello, I'm Bea, and welcome back to Wholeheartedly. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about depression and sadness, and more specifically ways that we can ease those feelings. So a little bit of background on me, I guess. 4.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Both were very severe cases at the time. In October of that year, I went on antidepressants, and I have been on antidepressants since. When I look back on my life, I can see that I've always had depressive tendencies and also anxiety. Like, I can see it in me as a child. I just didn't know what it was back then. I didn't have the words to vocalize what I was feeling. So after I was diagnosed, I went to therapy for a long time, and only recently have I stopped going to therapy weekly. And it's because I feel like I'm shifting out of the deep depression, but I have been experiencing a lot of waves of depression and sadness lately. Like, my mood has been so up and down, it's crazy. So I thought I would make this video to share some things that I know help me and ways that we can help ourselves when we're feeling sad, down, or depressed. So I think these tips can also be applied to when you're feeling sad. Depression is different to sadness, but these tips can totally help someone who is sad. And I know if I was going through a depressive episode, I'm not going to click on this video. So this is a video that I'd watch when I'm in a better mood and then save this information for later. If you are watching this and you're in a depressive episode, like, props to you for actually having the power, for actually sitting down and watching this. Like, I'm very proud of you. I probably wouldn't have done it. As with everything, everyone's going to be unique, and your experience is yours and my experience is mine. So what may work for me may not work for you. These are just things that have helped me through my depression in the past and perhaps could help you. So we're first going to talk about things you can do to help ease your sadness and depression, and then we're going to talk about prep work, because depression is like a full-time job sometimes. You have to really, really look after yourself. And it's a whole new level of self-care having to have that all the time. So let's just get into these things to do while you're in a lull. Nap. Napping is so helpful. Depression and sadness is a really draining emotion, and it's super draining, super tiring, and sometimes you just need to nap to get the clarity in your mind. Number 2, gentle yoga. I love doing yoga with Adrian's Yoga for Depression. It's very simple and gentle yoga, and I find it, when I'm in a lull, very difficult to do anything. I don't want to do anything, but I know that I can do that yoga because it is super simple, and I can also do it in pajamas. So literally the other day I rolled off the sofa and started doing that because I knew ultimately it would make me feel better. I also did it last night because, again, I knew that it would help to ease my feelings of depression. Number 3, journaling. I talk about journaling in pretty much every wellness video I make, but when I'm feeling depressed, I find it really difficult to journal. Even if I know it's really going to help me, it's often hard to do the things that help. Sort of like subcategories under journaling is to simply write a list of everything that's overwhelming you. Get it out of your brain and onto paper. Helps to make the chaos easier to see. And the second thing would be just to write a list of everything that went well during the day. When you're in one of these lulls, you often focus on the negative and the bad things, but if you just focus on some of the good things, no matter how small they are, it can often help. Number 4, do something crafty or with your hands. I think there's something really therapeutic about crafting and doing stuff with your hands. So embroidery is a great one. Working with clay, another amazing activity for when you're feeling emotions, basically. Just doing anything that involves your hands, like kneading bread or anything like that, just really helps you. And I'd also suggest doing some mindful art, which is kind of like exploring your emotions through an artistic avenue, which often is easier than journaling is. Number 5, time with your support people. Depression makes you feel alone, and it can be hard to reach out, but I would encourage you to reach out if you are feeling sad and lonely and depressed. Reach out and connect with someone. As humans, we all love and need connection, so reach out. Sometimes a bit of mindless TV or video games can really help. It helps you sort of escape your reality and into something else. So I like watching Harry Potter, watching New Girl, doing the things that are a bit mindless but actually help you to escape your world for a little while. It gives you a reprieve and helps your brain just sort of take a break. Get outside in nature and go for walks. I love that. And honestly, even if it's just walking by yourself, there's something so nice and just being outside in the fresh air, and it reminds you to breathe deeply. Have a shower. A shower is often a good way to reset. I often feel like when I'm in lulls, like I don't want to shower. That's a lot of effort. It does ultimately make you feel better. So even though there's a lot of effort involved in it, it is something that can help you out. The final idea I have is just to accept where you are and allow it rather than fighting it. For a long time, I would just get angry at the way I was feeling, and that would make me feel worse, and it would lead to me to go into deeper spirals of negativity. So if you just accept your emotion and allow it to be, accept where you are, it's okay that you're feeling this way, and it's okay to have these feelings, and it's okay to have bad days. Just allow it and treat yourself a little bit kinder. So there's a whole section on prep work. Sometimes these depressive lulls can last for ages. So for a long time, I just felt depressed all the time. It was just my reality. I feel like I really have moved from that place now, where my waves of depression, honestly at the moment, if it was the ocean, it would be quite like chaotic like this. The thing is, it changes all the time with depression. So it might be consistent right now. You're just in a wave of consistent depression. The sea keeps hitting you over and over again. But at some point, the ocean's going to stop giving you those waves and it's going to go calm again and you'll get a break. Sometimes I feel like if you're depressed, you have to do a whole lot of work to keep on top of it before you get into those depressive lulls. And if you keep on top of that work, you're going to minimize the lulls, essentially. My first step is to develop a support crew. I have my one support person, which is Luke.
What are you doing, Squish?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing is the question.
Filming you for my vlog?
For what?
For my vlog?
Your vlog.
Yeah, this is
Why have you started a vlog?
living with depression.
Oh.
This is moppiness
What?
with a tinge of anxiety.
Stop it. I'm serious. You're not David Babbitt.
There you go.
What? There.
There. This is a great example
Of what?
of the depressions. Hi guys, welcome back to DWD Vlogs. Today we have another example, just in a slightly different position. This is Brittany. Say hi, Brittany.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi. Tell me how you're feeling.
Stop it, guys.
Tell me how you're feeling.
I just feel sad and I've got anxious legs.
So with your support crew, they're the people who know what's going on. They're the people you can always rely on, reach out to, and like grab when you need. So with Luke, I have a code. It's a code with him because it's important in our relationship that he knows that if I'm feeling sad, it's not because he did something wrong. I just say, I'm a blobfish today, and that communicates to him that I'm just going through a depressive lull and I need some extra care and attention and love and just patience, and that can help him help me, also help our relationship through the depressive lulls. The next thing is to do the wellness things that we tend to avoid when we're in a lull. So when we're in a depressive lull, we don't want to do the journaling, the yoga, the meditation. But those are the things that we have to keep on top of when we're not in those spaces, so that we have more resiliency and we're just taking care of ourselves. Sometimes I feel like taking care of ourselves is like a full-time job. Take your meds, eat healthy food, journal, exercise, and meditate. Those are my 5 things that if I keep on top of, then I'll be better, essentially. I cannot emphasize the importance of seeing a professional, and a professional person seeking help and seeking therapy is probably the best thing you can do for your mental health, because a therapist, they essentially just give you the tools you need to cope with your depression. They help you navigate the waves of depression that you're going through, and they're this outside person who's not really a part of your life but can see things clearly and can help you through things. And I think that's so important. They can teach you the tools that you need to know to help you live your life better. So I cannot emphasize, like, go and see a therapist. If you're going through depression or deep sadness or anything, go and seek help professionally, because it will do wonders to your mental health. Another thing to do when you're not in a depressive lull is to keep things tidy. It just helps having things a clean space, fresh, everything nice and neat. I don't know if that's just me, but it really does help my mental health if everything is in its place. It makes it less cluttered and less chaotic, and that helps my brain minimize the amount of chaos and stress that's going on inside. Another thing is to get enough sleep. Geez, my old friend. I have been through waves of insomnia during my life. Sometimes I have really good sleep patterns, and sometimes I have really bad sleep patterns. This phase of my life is called I don't have a sleep schedule, but I know that I need one, and I know that in order to look after my mental health and to be better with my depression, I really need to get on top of it. Having enough sleep makes you function as a better human. It helps all your insides work better, and in turn that will help your brain function better, which will help your depression. The final thing is to create a wellness toolbox, which is like a metaphorical toolbox of tools and techniques and things that you can use to help soothe you while you're experiencing waves of depression. So in a future video, we're going to focus on actually making a wellness toolbox of things that you can do. I would say that the first part of this video was a little bit like a wellness toolbox. There were things that you can do right now to help you shift out of your depression and sadness. But it also looks like creating plans, establish patterns, and like ways of working with your depression that will help simplify it and make it easier. Like a little example of that is having that code word with Luke that I'm a blobfish today, and it helps him to understand me a little bit more and my mood. So if you are feeling depressed right now, or if you do experience like waves of sadness and depression, I just want to send you a whole lot of love, because it's tough and it's hard and it's lonely. Just know that it will pass and you'll be able to move through this too. My 2 ultimate takeaways to help you with your depression or your sadness is to, number 1, be gentle with yourself. Accept your emotion. It is what it is. You feel what you feel, and your feelings are real. Thank you, Sven. And just be gentle with yourself in response to that. And then my second tip would be to go and seek help. See a professional or reach out to a friend and just say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I don't know what's going on, but I need to tell someone, because often getting it out of your head helps. It's really okay to have bad days, and it's okay to feel what you feel. So here's a question for you. What makes you feel better when you are feeling down or low? Lately, what I found helps me when I'm feeling down or low is to do art and make stuff. Sometimes I don't feel like doing that, and when that happens, I generally turn to doing the depression yoga with Adrienne, because that's simple and it helps to move my body and helps me to feel better. Right. Sending you so much love and light. Be gentle, be kind with yourself, and just show yourself some extra love.